Good morning, Columbia County. Welcome to Columbia County Connect for this Holy Week of the Christian Church. Remind you of some Easter things going on. Egg scramble this Saturday at Evanstown Center Park. There's a rain date too of April the 2nd if it should get rained out. But at 10 o'clock, ages 1 to 4. At 11 o'clock, ages 5 and above. $2 per child. Bring your own basket. The music, food, children's craft, prizes, singing princesses, and more. Now, I don't know what more is going to be, but there's going to be more. And don't forget the egg scramble this coming Saturday. This morning, we welcome Mary Lynn Maynard. She is got a dual role as your head of the Columbia County Library System, or the Columbia County Libraries, and the Greater Clarks Hill Library Association, right?
Right.
Tell us a little bit how that came about. You were part of that. We did this roughly, I guess, in 2012 or 13.
Yes.
When we had an opportunity to break away from the, was it East Georgia?
East Central Georgia.
East Central Georgia. And that really worked out. Walk us through that process a little bit. What do all we have to do?
We had to send a letter to the State Library Director.
Mr. Veach at that, Dr. Veach.
Right, Dr. Veach at that time, that we would like to pull away from East Central and form our own region. And we were talked to Lincoln County and Warren County to see if they would like to join us. And so we had to have our letter in by December 31st. And so that following July 1st, we became Greater Clarks Hill Regional Library System.
And I believe we only had to have one other county to have an association.
Correct.
They both chose to join with us.
Yes.
And since that time, we've added Burke County, right?
Right. Burke County came on a year later.
You know, tell us what that did for us and for those other counties in the way of salaries and equipment and whatever was involved in the state.
We were able to, we get salary money from the state to reimburse for salaries, and we also get materials money and system services grant money, which is you can use for equipment for the libraries, and that is spread out across all of the counties in the region equally. Well, we do it per capita, so which benefits everyone, whereas before there was really no money from the state that the other counties were allotted when we were in East Central Georgia. So
really we prompted that or initiated that because I guess as fast growing as we were and all, we felt like we were not getting our fair share of the state benefits of being in the East Central Georgia.
Correct, yes.
And how do you feel that that's worked out?
I think it's worked out really well. It's been a growing experience for me, and it's also been a lot of fun. But I think it's been positive all the way around.
And I think Warren and Lincoln and Burke are all happy with what has taken place.
Yes, sir, they are. They're very happy.
Tell us about books. Libraries are different now than in the dark ages when I went to school, when you went into the old Dewey Decimal System and looked up a book and went to the rack and got the book. Libraries are so much more now. Tell me what the normal activity during the day for well, let's just take the main library in Evans.
Okay. Well, we still circulate a lot of books. We circulate the 3 Columbia County libraries circulate almost 500,000 books in a year. We also have ebooks, and we circulate about 600 ebooks a month, which are electronic books.
Now, do you come and pick up the ebook and take it home, or they do it right there in the library?
We have step-by-step instructions on how you download an app onto your phone, and you use your library card and you create an account with One Click Digital, and then you can search the collection of ebooks, and you can download them either to your phone, any electronic device. And we also have electronic audiobooks where you can listen on your device.
So you can drive and listen.
You can, and we have a lot of folks that come in with questions. We answer probably about 5,000 questions a month.
5,000 a month.
How
many people do that?
A lot. They come in.
No, how many staff people are available to do that?
Well, we have in a typical day, there's about 9 people.
9 people.
It's all throughout the day.
Mhm.
During tax season, AARP comes twice a week, well, 3 days a week this year, and will do free taxes for people.
Oh, they do?
They do. And so they come on Tuesday, Thursdays, and then this year we added Saturdays.
That's that group of old people, right?
Right.
I wouldn't know anything about that.
I know, but yes, people, they line up at the door on Tuesdays and Thursdays and Saturdays to be the first person in to get their taxes done. So
And that's a free service?
it is a free service. And we have a lot of classes. We have computer classes on different Word, on how to set up an email account, on using your devices, on online shopping, anything people need help with. Basic computer classes on how to use a mouse, how to turn on your computer. We do those. And then we have, with our Makerspace, we have Makerspace classes for teens, and we just started one for 8 to 12-year-olds.
What kind of class?
It's a Makerspace. We have a 3D printer.
Makerspace.
Makerspace, yes. We have a 3D printer, I'm gonna tell you. They can learn how to code and design. They use the laptops. They can design a object, an Easter egg, and then hook it up to the 3D printer, and it'll
This is
print out
mainly
your
a
Easter
graphics
egg.
program.
Well, it's graphics. We have guitar classes, sewing classes. It's all hands-on. It's new
Now, wait a minute.
things.
You got a computer class to teach me how to play a guitar.
No,
Oh.
it's just a guitar class. We have beginning guitar.
Oh, okay.
We have a percussion drum set. I don't know if that's the correct word, but it's silent. You put on earphones and you hear it. But if you hear it, you
Well,
just
that
hear
takes the
somebody.
fun out of it if you can't hear the noise three
I know.
blocks away.
I know, but they learn how to solder. So it's all hands-on experience to bring in science, technology, engineering,
Solder, is that
math,
the
and-
same thing as solder?
Yes, it is, and I should know that. But
What are you doing teaching people to solder? You don't do any wires or anything more in,
not in the library, but they come and learn. It's a lot of the people that come want to learn how to make things.
Yeah.
Very handsy, so they learn how to do
well, you
that.
can make little doodads with solder instead of trying to weld or something that's a
Yeah,
little more involved.
yeah,
You teach all those things over there?
we do.
Well, who does the teaching? How do you get the people in to teach?
Well, our staff does some of it, and we do have our friends of the library. They pay for our 2 computer instructors to teach computer classes because that takes up the most time.
Can you show me how to get the best out of my iPads and MacBook?
Yes,
You can?
Mhm. We hold gadget classes, and you can bring your gadget in, and we show you how to use it.
What kind of gadgets you get brought in?
Anything, any electronic gadget. No, I take that back. Any computer, iPad, camera, iPhone, MP3 player, anything like that.
Oh,
iPod.
those things you can do out in the open? Okay.
Right. But we, well, and while we're talking about that, this year is the 10-year anniversary of the Evans Library.
Yeah,
And
I
so
remember.
we are having a celebration on Thursday, May 26th from 5 to 7. And we will have people, we're going to be in the lobby and in the cafe area. And we'll have some makerspace stuff. We'll have somebody there to help you with your gadgets if you want to bring those there. And we would love to have you come.
You know, we had kind of a formal grand opening of the library when it was built. You remember that?
I do remember that. I
I
attended
remember
that.
putting on my tux. We still got some pictures of that.
That was a
event.
good time.
We just had a groundbreaking for the new library in Harlem. Tell us about that and what do you think it'll be for the city of Harlem?
I think that it's going to be great for the city of Harlem. It will allow more people access to the internet and to computers and to more materials. It will be a larger space for programs, and it will just be a very beautiful building, I think, and people will go because of that.
And I believe you'll have, of course, in-house Wi-Fi,
Yes.
and you'll have more computer kiosks than what's in the house now.
Right,
Is
we'll
there-
have about 40 public computers for
40?
adults and children. Yes.
Are there that many people in Harlem?
There are.
Oh, okay.
There are. Right now they have 8 public computers at their current library.
And you're
so-
going from 8 to 40?
Yes, and she always has a waiting, people waiting to get on the computers
Mhm.
because there's a lot. They have dial-up, I think, is the best they have out there in Harlem for internet.
And we don't have a Wi-Fi service currently in the house that's being used for the library?
We do. They have, yes, and a lot of times when the library's closed, you can drive by and there'll be folks sitting on the porch with
Yeah.
their laptops on the Wi-Fi.
That's
So,
good.
yeah, so it'll be great for the community.
And the location of that right in the central downtown area should prompt some more economic development. I hope that they'll look at revitalizing a theater there that'll be adjacent to that
Right.
project. They've redone the marquee outside, but they haven't been able to do anything inside yet. I
Yeah,
think that'd be a real compliment to the,
yes, it will.
describe the building. I think we got some space upstairs that can be used for civic clubs.
Right, there's a meeting room upstairs and it has a little kitchen off to the side and some restrooms that will be used for library programs. And then I believe the city would like to rent it out to civic clubs to use after hours. So that would be great. It's a great meeting space for the community.
And we've had the groundbreaking, and that construction should be starting almost immediately, shouldn't it? I think I
I
signed
think
those
so.
contracts last week sometime.
I think in the next couple of weeks, we had a construction meeting last week. So in the next few weeks, they'll be starting.
People talk all the time about, pretty much the death of printed media. Newspapers all over the country are struggling. The paper business in general, as we've experienced here with Quad Graphics closing, a large printing operation. But what do you see for the future of walk in, take out a book, or do something else variety for libraries?
I see it continuing. I don't think the book is ever going to go away. It's too ingrained, I think, in our society.
Yeah, but what about the younger generation? Is it going to be ingrained in them?
I think so. We have a lot of elementary and middle school kids and high school that still come. I just actually, Monday, I read a study that college students actually learn better by reading a book versus reading it electronically. You can take notes. I still prefer a book. I'll read things online or on my laptop, but I remember better if I have it in my hand and read it.
It's kind of strange. I don't have that many. I probably got 12, 15 books on my iPad. Clancy novels and Pat Conroy, who just died recently.
Right.
Real enjoyable type reading. But I like the book still. Of course, I'm old school and I've adjusted to some of the electronic age, but I'm not too much on writing and listening now. My wife likes to put in a disc and listen to a book on the road. You think that's going to be more and more of the norm?
I think so. We have a good many people that check out audiobooks that travel, and I've just recently found audiobooks. And I probably in the last 3 or 4 months, I've probably listened to about 6 audiobooks, just one after another, just throwing them in
Do you
there.
retain as much from audiobooks as you do sitting down reading?
I think so.
You
I
do?
do. Yeah. It makes if you're driving on a road trip, it makes your trip a lot shorter. It doesn't seem that long because and I always have to catch myself and say, oh gosh, what did he just say? Because I kind of
You can back it
wander
up.
off.
Can't you? You can back it up.
Yeah, you
can
can back it up in here. So I have to remind myself to pay attention.
Well, do you ever get so engrossed in your book that you don't pay attention to what you're doing driving down the road?
No, I haven't done that
No,
yet.
yeah.
Not yet.
Do you text and drive?
I do not.
Do you talk on the phone and drive?
Sometimes.
Do you have one of those that comes through your radio and you?
No, I have an old vehicle. I need to get a new one.
We're not paying you enough?
You pay me enough.
Oh, okay.
I just
You get salaries from 2 places, don't you?
just one.
Oh, I thought you got some.
Maybe I do get from 2 places. I
Okay.
do. But I was raised by my father, so I have to save everything.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know, I watched Mary Lynn grow up. She was a neighbor, her and her 2 sisters and family. Now they They spend a lot of time on the water.
They do.
And they still do that, or are they mostly land-bound now?
Oh, they're in the Bahamas right now.
Oh,
They
in the
went down
Bahamas.
last week. Hmm.
That's a rough life.
It is rough. I feel really bad for them.
I don't think so real sincere in that, folks. But the family worked hard, and your father and mother worked hard, so they're out enjoying.
They are.
What they did.
They're doing what they should do.
What else you see in the library system? We've had conversation, but no real interest, I think, in McDuffie County joining our association. Have they talked to you?
I have not heard from them. No.
It's been brought up a couple of times by their commission and not really gotten into seriously. What is your feeling about additional counties in our system if it should come about?
Well,
And be frank, I don't
I
mind.
think we're good right now.
We're good right now with
We
4.
are. With 4, yes. It's a lot to have to, I guess, learn and.
Now, you have to go to every one of them periodically.
Yes, I try to go at least once a month, and I have to go to all their county board meetings. So,
And each of those has their own little director there in that location.
right.
And you work with them on what they need or circulation, or what is your main input to those libraries?
I just offer advice. If they have a problem or an issue, I help them solve that. My staff also gives them guidance on book purchases, on programming. So we're just kind of there as, I guess, a mentor to them to help them get the most for their libraries and for their communities.
We have a group here called Friends of the Library, I guess.
We do.
They do various things, I guess on a maybe, I don't know if it's daily, but a weekly basis. What is the main thrust of that operation with the Friends? All volunteer group?
It's an all volunteer group. They have a used book store right inside the library, and they raise about $3,000 a month selling the books. About every other month they have a big book sale in the lobby of the library, and they do really well with that. We accept donations. The library gets first choice over the donations. We add them to the 3 Columbia County libraries if we need it. If not, we let friends have it and they sell it. So we also, they've gotten some really rare, high quality books in. And so we have, one of my staff members, we have an eBay account with Friends, and we'll put the books on eBay and sell those.
What really constitutes a rare book?
We look up the ISBN and see the going price for it. It also depends on the content,
The author maybe?
the author, and then the shape of the book. We got in about a month ago a big box of old stamps, and so we're currently going through those
You
now.
got a collection of stamps?
Yes, they were it was a scrapbook with stamps, and then a lot of the stamps were just thrown in the box. So we've been going through that, trying to figure out what to do with all of those. But anything that's rare or could get has a high price tag on it, we put it on eBay for the Friends.
And I've taken several boxes of books, and for folks out there, if your in-house library's gotten rather large and things you haven't messed with, or take them to the library, they'll give you a donation sheet, I believe.
We will.
And you set what you feel is the value of the book. I mean, the donor does.
Right.
To be deducted from the tax within the limits of the IRS rules. But I've done that on several occasions, and it makes you feel a little better than that somebody might take this and read,
Right.
and it be in circulation rather than just dumping it in the trash or doing away with it some other way.
Right.
Anything else you'd like to add about our library? We all know that libraries are very important to communities.
Yes, they are.
They are high on the list of quality of life issues of a place to go, not for just what they do, but for the information that's there, the opportunities they provide with the classes like you're talking about, kind of a central location for gathering sometime. I don't know if you have Do you have any other meetings there besides the library people? Do people use the library for various things?
Yes, we have, our meeting room can be booked for nonprofits, and so we have some 4-H meetings are there. We have homeowners associations meet there. Homeschooling groups will book the room. So we have a lot of groups that use our meeting room space. We have a lot of tutors as well.
And for the main library, there's a nice playground out back, small amphitheater, a walking trail around the lake.
Yes.
The entire complex is just really beautiful and used a lot by the public.
Yes, and my children's librarian, she sent me an email, a program, it's called a Story Walk, and it was developed in Massachusetts. And so we're gonna try to have one out by the time summer reading starts. And we're going to see if we can do it around the pond out back. And you take a story and you put a page on a stake, and they're about 20 feet apart. And so the children and their parents walk around and read the story together, and it gets everyone outside, it gets them moving, it gets...
You don't have it in big print?
Yes, we will. It gets families together. And so, and also through studies, the younger the children start learning, the more they're ready to learn when they are actually school age. So we're going to implement that and see how well that goes.
And I believe from time to time you have authors in.
We do.
You've had book signings there in the past, and anything that's, I guess, in a way remotely connected to the literary world, or well, maybe now even the technological world.
Right, we do. We are working on finding an author to come in the fall. So it's we try to get. This past year we did a lot of local authors, and now we're branching out southeastern authors. So.
I believe we're in between. I guess leaseholders for the cafe. The cafe is not operating currently.
Right.
But we're trying to work out something to reopen that. But we don't allow the food and drink in the library itself.
Correct. They can have a drink if they're in the reading area downstairs,
Okay.
but not around the books or computers, because that ends up bad.
Well, anything else you'd like to add before we close up today?
I don't think so. I think that's about all.
Thank you for being here. This is a
you.
very important part of Columbia County life as a library system. Mary Lynn does a great job with us here in Columbia County, and I believe in your past employment you were doing something in Richmond County.
Yes, I was a elementary school media specialist, librarian in Richmond County. Yes.
So you had a little background for what you're doing now, plus an education.
Yes, sir.
We appreciate what you do for Columbia County and for the region. So
Thank you.
thank you for being here. Thank you folks for watching. We'll see you again next week. You did good.
All right.